5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hello, good evening and welcome. Somebody a lot more famous than me once said, welcome along to sloppy seconds for me, and I've still got terrible thirds to come later. This is the prediction show. You are watching LTiDtv. Please, if you are in the chat, thank you very much. Get your predictions in as well. They will come up in the bottom right-hand corner. If you could also smash that likes button, that would be good. If you can also subscribe, that's even better. And if you're watching on catch-up, no excuse. You can do both of those and add your comments in below. Let us know your predictions. And if you are listening via your favourite podcast platform, tar for lending me your ears. Sometimes when you plan things, hi Scott, how you doing? Nice to see you, mate. Sometimes when you plan things, it doesn't. Sometimes you end up with the wrong people in the wrong jobs. And you get that with sort of TV presenters sometimes. Like the Jim will Fix It shows and the animal hospitals. So you end up with completely the wrong presenters. This has happened with this show because we've got the prediction show with two people who couldn't predict when they need to go to the toilet. That's how bad it is. Let's get him in. We'll talk Leicester, but we'll also talk predictions. Oh, I thought I'd brought him in then. Hang on a second, everybody. There he is. Josh, sir, how are you? Devil are you?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You can tell this is my second one already tonight, can't you? I'm cocking it up like good time.
You still look a lot fresher than I do, pal.
I don't smell it. I've got to say, look, we're shit at this predictions, Lark, aren't we?
Garbage, mate. Absolute garbage. Like I was saying to you before we came on, I checked. Obviously, it seems a lifetime ago now since the last game week. Really, obviously, we had the international break, but I checked mine again and I thought, oh my god, it's I mean, it's not improving at the minute, is it? Like we say every week, mate, it can only get better, but hopefully sooner rather than later. Anyway.
It doesn't get better though, does it?
No.
I do feel a bit like Angela Rayner being on the wrong job. But I mean, everybody, look, we'll go through it in a second. But there's a little bit extra we added. Josh came up and said, "Oh, we do the Super Six, but we predict all 12 games." Wouldn't it be a good idea, he said, if we also sort of keep a record of the other 6 games that aren't in the Super Six, and we'll see how we do. If you ever have another idea like that, Josh, keep it to yourself, please.
I'll try to, mate. I'll let you reveal how that got on. But it weren't, as everybody can imagine, it weren't much better, definitely.
Well, it wasn't a lot better at all, no. But it has been a while because we've had the international break. Doug, how are you doing? 43 months. I'm sure that means something to somebody. These were the results from the last time that everybody played. Look, we beat Birmingham 2-0, which I was very satisfied with because I thought that was going to be the hardest game.
Mm. I think it's the same here as well, mate. That's why I predicted to actually get beat. I thought overall, they obviously seen a lot more of the ball than we did. But I think, sort of after the game, I mean, I watched it back and I thought, you know what, we were really comfortable against them. I think
Yes,
the way we set up deep, like fairly defensively, I guess, and you could sort of see we're trying to catch them on the break. They didn't really trouble us apart from maybe a couple of times where it looked a bit hairy. But other than that, I thought we were really solid and good value for the 3 points.
Now, I might have been a little bit overzealous with my prediction for Middlesbrough Sheffield United. But at least I went for a win. Now,
You did, indeed.
I'm just trying to find these here. I went 5-0 to Middlesbrough. Wasn't to be, but they at least came out with the 3 points. Just
Indeed.
remind me, I think, who was it who was saying, it can't go on forever, it's going to change, and Sheffield United, I think, we're going to win this 3-1. Was that you, Josh?
Got too much faith in the Blades at the minute, pal.
Blades are bloody.
I mean, I'll be honest. I remember I think we sent a few messages back and forth during the game, and can't remember if you were watching or not. And I messaged you saying, I think there were a time where, especially at the start of the game, I thought, you know what, Chris could be onto something here. I mean, it did end up 5-0, but at times it genuinely could have done. Middlesbrough, by far the better team throughout the whole game and deserved winners. I mean, I'm not going to reveal my Sheffield United score for this week just yet, but let's say the tide may be slightly turning against them over my end with Sheffield. But totally, mate. Again, Middlesbrough fully deserved, and it genuinely could have been 5-0. So you could have been right on that one.
Neither of us got the next game. Q went for a draw. I went for a Charlton win. QPR doing them 3-1. You actually got a point because you predicted West Brom to beat Stoke.
Thank God.
Yes, I didn't. I went for a 2-2. Then we both went for a Blackburn Norwich draw. I went for a second 2-2, a 2-2-2-2 if you like. But Norwich won 2-0. We both got a point there for Bristol Hull because we both went for the win. That's where all the goals were, 6 goals there.
That's it.
Yeah, both of us expected Ipswich to do Derby. Ipswich having a torrid time since they've come back up, aren't they?
Yeah, it's mad, really, mate. I think, again, really similar to Sheffield United. I think at times maybe I'm sort of blindsided by the players they've got in the starting lineup, and teams, even like backup players they've got on the bench, sort of think it's the game that they should be looking to win, really. So I think anybody can see, and anybody would agree with us, to be honest with you on that. I think Ipswich firm favourites going into that, but Derby pulls something out of the bag.
Can I just say that point that we both got for Bristol versus Hull? That was the last point either of us got for the whole of the game.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Chris, you carry on. I'm just going to go and make a tea, sit with the family for 20 minutes, and then call me back in when things pick up.
Well, none of us. We both went for a Millwall win. They lost to Wrexham. Oxford Coventry, I went for another 5-0. You went for 3, and it was 2-2. Portsmouth, Preston, we both went for a Preston, and they lost it. Sheffield Wednesday, Swansea. We should have known better, really, shouldn't we? We should have gone for the Swansea. And Watford, Southampton. Again, that bloody was a 2-2, wasn't it?
That's it, mate. That's it. Just if you remember, I know I predicted Coventry 3-0 to beat Oxford, but I did say don't be surprised if Oxford gets something. So that could be
You
my
did.
sort of little. That could be my little compensation, I guess. I'm not expecting a point. I'm not. I won't claim
I'm
a
going to
point
say, if
for
only
it.
you got points for saying
Exactly.
things like
Yeah.
that, you know.
Yeah. I should back myself a bit more, really, shouldn't I? But
I tell you
it's
what, though, I tell
shocking.
you what, there was some funny results
Mm,
in there that you're
yeah,
looking at and you're going, how? You know what I mean? How
definitely.
did Stoke, who had been top, not get something at West Brom? You know, Charlton were on a good run. How did they get? I mean, there's some weird results. So, forgetting the Super Six, and we'll come to the main table in a second, but in the Chris versus Josh score, you should have seen the ones I didn't use. in, you look like you ever watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, remember the guy from one of the people that lived past the wall and up the north, the main guy in there with the big beard. It
Yeah,
looked
yeah.
like that, you know. He had a huge head. I'm not saying anymore. So in the Chris versus Josh, what's the score on that at the moment?
Well, as you can imagine from the results you just read out, you're actually 1-0 up at the minute. Out of all them scores, it got like I even thought to myself when I read it back, I thought, "Oh my god, I've not even got a result right." Like a score, and you're happy, aren't you? I didn't get one result right. I couldn't believe it.
I know, honestly, when you told me that, I'm
Crazy.
thinking, I thought, well, I did shit. What were you doing? You know what I
Fuck
mean?
on absolute madness, mate. But who knows? It's a new week, brand new game week. So fingers crossed. I managed to pick up at least one this week.
Yeah, Jim, how you doing, mate? Welcome along. And he's popped in to say how you doing. What I love about these figures here is that it's even got your tattoos on your arms.
I'd tell you what though, mate. That one's a bit slimmer than I am at the minute. I won't be in that size, to be honest.
I tell you what, mine isn't. Mine got my stomach spot on there, hanging out over my trousers. But let's have a look at the. It doesn't really get any better for you, Josh. And I don't know
I
how
know.
I keep saying that you were. Was it a week late? So you've only missed 1 week.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
thank you, Scott. Here's the league table, which was a bit of a
Ugh.
squash because, as you can see, I've got new artwork this week. Brad is getting a nosebleed, 23. Wow. Nate, last year's winner's got 20. Now, Manny's gone ahead of me, which is really, really upsetting. Kate from Leicester Till I Die is in there in 7th. Dan, the Burnley fan, who I was just speaking to, and we've just done a show on. It's a news show, but it's a non-Leicester news show. But we are talking Chelsea, Daniel Levy, and Marinakis at Nottingham Forest. He's up in 6th. I fall onto the wrong side of the table this time. I'm sort of in 12, having got 2 right. Let me just try and find Josh. How are you?
The thing is, Chris, the thing is, because of the chats there, you can't even see my name. That's how pathetic I am.
Right, hang on a second. Just for you, Josh, because I don't want you to not to be able to see it. There you go.
The thing is, my aim now for the next couple of weeks is to get away from the chat, and I'll be all right. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Unfortunately, it just overlaps a little bit. You must have got 2 points this week, but
Yeah, it's gradually improving, mate. It's getting
yeah,
there. Just
yeah.
maybe
One correct
next week I'll get
prediction.
3.
Yeah, one correct prediction, and you've Craig. I have to say, well done to Craig. For the 2nd week running, he got 0.
So in the great grand scheme of things, mate, I'm doing crap. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm slowly inching my way up.
Oh, you're definitely not lying. Um, Jim from America, He is sat there in 18th. He probably will overtake me this week. And I actually tried to watch an NFL game this week because
Mm,
Jim's team is the Panthers, and in homage to him, I should put my Panthers hat on.
there you
Uh,
go.
and I said, right, what we'll do is I'll watch this Panthers game because apparently they're the Leicester City of the NFL, and um, we'll maybe do a watch along. I have never been so bored in my life. It
Yeah,
went.
go on.
It went on longer than those 45 minutes we had pre-season.
I'll be honest, like with the NFL, I've only really got into it myself in the last probably 4 or 5 years. My team's the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders.
Right.
I was a bit like you at the start. I couldn't really get my head around how stop-start it is, but I think after a while, I sort of when you realise how sort of tactical it is, and there's different plays and stuff, and obviously timeouts and stuff like that. I really enjoy it now. I love it. I think it's brilliant. I think more than anything as well because it's such a big spectacle and they make it into such a like a big deal over there. That's why I think I've really enjoy it. But like you say, the games could go on for a while, so you sort of
Oh,
have to
this
strap
one
yourself in for a few hours.
had a break for lightning as well. I mean, no wonder the Americans take the trailers and what have you with them. They camp outside. The game goes on overnight, and
I say it's a big one.
it's the oh, thank you. Kind of you to notice. It's the Jaguars. I keep saying the Panthers, but it's the Jaguars. Sorry, Jim. See, I fell asleep and I couldn't remember who I was supposed to be following. But yeah, so we won't be doing an NFL watch along. I mean, every time they put a tackle in, the game stopped, and
Yeah.
everyone was going, "Yeah!" Could they actually tackle somebody? And then you got a bloody advert.
It takes some getting used to, but honestly,
Oh,
mate, stick with it, and I think you'll become really accustomed to it. I love it.
I don't think there's any chance of that. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Jim, I did need cider to keep myself going over that. Anyway, let's talk proper football, not that American rubbish. Here we go. These are this week's Super Six. Obviously, the early kickoff on Saturday. Oxford. Well, there's three early kickoffs actually. Oxford versus Leicester. We've got the Friday night kickoff. Which is tomorrow night, obviously. Ipswich versus Sheffield United. A Midlands derby, Stoke versus Birmingham. Preston against Middlesbrough. Watford Blackburn, which is probably going to be one of the hardest to guess. And the biggest, and I know Bournemouth are on the south coast, but these two teams absolutely hate each other. Southampton, Portsmouth. I was watching the local news, which is not like me. I was watching the local news, and they've drafted extra police in. They've cancelled police leave. They are expecting trouble. It's been a while since these two teams have
That
played each other.
that's the thing. Like, I know you're a Derby, but is it really that big of a deal down there? I probably get slated for saying that by Saints and Pompey fans, but I know. Obviously, there's a big rivalry and stuff, but I didn't realise it was as big as what people are saying.
Yes, I think the problem is it's a bit like us and Coventry.
Yeah.
For me, that's the big one, but it had been that long since we'd played them
Mm.
until 2 seasons ago when we got relegated. It'd been something like 15, 16 years. So the
Yeah.
rivalry tends to drop off a little bit,
Mm.
even with Nottingham Forest. So, yes, it is the derby. You got Southampton, Bournemouth, but again, out the three of them, and you obviously got Brighton, but that's further away. Between the three of them, Southampton and Portsmouth are the rivals than either of them with Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Portsmouth with Bournemouth at all. So yes, it is a big one, and it's the fans as well.
Mm.
So before we start looking at the matches this week, I just want to say two things. First of all, memories to everybody, because of course it was today when the Twin Towers was destroyed. So all our thoughts to all the Americans and the British and other countries where the nationals perished in that. And also RIP to the gentleman that got shot in the neck. Mr. Kirk, I can't think of his first name, Mr. Kirk.
Charlie
Kirk, that's it. I actually loved him as much as I loved watching. I didn't necessarily agree with everything. I loved watching his videos and his clips. He was he put across his point in a very thoughtful way. And to be honest with you, I think it comes to a bad thing when you can't have an opinion, and I think we're getting that way. So again, condolences and all the best to his wife and 2 young children who he leaves behind. So
100%, mate. 100%. Couldn't agree more, Chris.
Yeah, indeed. Right, so here we go. So these are this week's games. Ipswich, like I say, Sheffield United are playing on Friday. Preston, Middlesbrough, Charlton, Millwall and Oxford, Leicester are all 12:30 kickoffs. West Brom, Derby, Watford, Blackburn, Stoke, Birmingham. Then we've got Sheffield Wednesday against Bristol, Wrexham against QPR, Coventry, Norwich, Swansea, Hull, and then on the Sunday, Southampton versus Portsmouth. Let's get into it. A little bit different. Remember, before we've actually had the betting on who was going to win the game. I've actually got rid of that, and I've actually replaced it with, you'll like this, not a lot, but you'll like this, with win probability. So this is the probability of what who will win the game, obviously. So with this game, 48% win probability to Ipswich, 23% to Sheffield United, which probably isn't the biggest surprise going, and 29% for the draw. As you can see there, 3 draws and a loss for Ipswich, 4 losses for Sheffield United. And what I've also put in there is, well, they haven't got to 5 games yet, but the last 5 home games if it's the home team and away games if it's the away team. So last 2 games at home, Ipswich got 2 draws, 2 games away. Obviously, Sheffield United got 2 losses. At least Ipswich are scoring. They've got 4, but they conceded 5. Sheffield United just gets worse. Scored 1, conceded 7. The XG there, which I still don't understand, but I put it in there just for fun, 1.51 to Ipswich, 1.2 to Sheffield United. Look, 19th versus 24th. And the most likely number of goals to be scored is either 2 or 3 with 47%. Scott's already got in with a 2-1 win to Sheffield United. He's obviously had a drink of what you had last week, Josh.
Go on, Scott.
Get in there, Scott. Let's have them. Let's be having you. And we've both gone 2-1. So, your thoughts on this one? It's Sheffield United. I cannot believe. I mean, talk about going from one extreme to the other. I mean, when you get promoted, you kind of think, yeah, that's gonna, you're gonna have a bit of a run when you go, because you got that adrenaline and you're on the back of getting promoted. But when you lose in the playoffs, and do you remember when we lost that season when we lost to Watford? It wasn't even the final; it was the semi-final.
Yeah.
The next season under Nigel Pearson, we broke every record, like the most home wins, away wins, goals. We responded. Well, I don't think Nigel Pearson would have let us do it any other way, but we responded really good to that. Sheffield United, I know we keep saying this, I mean, they're just having a terrible season.
I think, touching on the Leicester point you made there, I think it was genuinely because we kept Nigel Pearson in as well. As we know, Sheffield United have completely changed the manager. I think had they kept Chris Wilder, I'm not saying they'd be near the top of the league, but they'd definitely be up there challenging by now. I think it's just whether the players are still adapting to Sellers' style of play or not. I mean, by all accounts, from what I've seen on social media and stuff, the fans just ain't happy whatsoever. As you touched on, they've only scored 1 goal so far this season in the league. It's It's a strange game, really. I mean, I know usually I'm not a Sheffield United fanboy, but I usually pick them to win. But I'm not this week. I'm not this week. I think some at least one of these is going to get the first win of the season. Just not Sheffield United this week for me. I
So,
might back them. I might back them again next week to hopefully break the duck. But I
do
think
you know,
had it been at Bramall Lane, I may have gone for a draw, but I think home advantage is going to pay off for Ipswich in this one.
I would absolutely piss my pants if this was the week Sheffield United got a win.
It's probably the thing is, Chris, it's probably going to happen. They'll probably turn up there tomorrow night and whack them 4 or 5-0.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
let's not quite go that far, but I think it is. Interestingly, and I haven't actually put this on here, but I'll try and fit it on for next week. This, I think, sums it all up. The amount of when Ipswich play or any football team play, this site looks at the offence. There you go, Jim. Big American word for you there. So attacking and defending. What percentage of the games are attacking and what percentage is that they are defending? I think that's what it means. Maybe not. But with Ipswich, the offence is 56%. And the defence is 45%. With Sheffield United, their defence is 62%.
It's hell.
So they're not doing an awful lot of attacking, and that is probably a lot of their problems. I know I say this to you every week. Can you see Chris Wilder coming back?
It depends. I mean, sometimes I guess you could sort of see when we brought Nigel Pearson back for the second time round. Obviously, for them it'd be the third time round, but
Yeah,
I think it's going to take a big person at Sheffield United to say, "Listen, we got it wrong." Maybe try and tempt him back. Whether he looks at it and thinks, "You know what? I'm not being funny, but I did a relatively, and even though they didn't get promoted,
yeah,
they'd have been favourites to win the playoffs, even though they didn't. They were quite unlucky in the final. I thought they were the better team of the Sunderland. So
yeah.
if I'm him, you sort of look at it and go, well, you know what, one last crack at it. But I don't know. I mean, whether they go back there or not. But I give Sellers. I mean, you could maybe sort of take away this game and then give maybe another two. And if things don't pick up, then you've got to sort of question and think, right, no, we've got to get rid of him. But it's definitely not looking good for him.
I mean, I'm just looking here, right, at his managerial career, Robin Sellers. All right, we'll ignore his caretaker role at Southampton because that was only for one game. At Southampton, he was manager for 17 games. His win percentage was 11.76. He won 2 games. Now at Reading, in fairness, that was pretty decent. 78. He actually got a 43.5% win record. Don't know why he left Reading, to be honest with you. He doesn't.
He ended up at Watford, didn't he?
No, then he went to Hull after that.
Hull, yeah.
Where he had a win percentage. He was only there 28 games, and he had a win percentage of 32%. Now, I know stats can tell you an awful lot, but when you look at that, you're thinking, bloody hell, that's not good.
Not really, no. I mean, obviously at Reading he done well, but I don't know. It's just a strange one. I say every week, and I'm constantly repeating myself from Mark Parrott. Sheffield United have got the players to play better. This is what I don't understand. And while the last season was getting a tune out of them, I know they have sold some relatively good players. But if you put their team on paper compared to the other teams at the minute that are near the top of the league, let's say you didn't really understand anything about football, but you knew who the players were, you think Sheffield United, they've got to be up there. So it's definitely something tactical, and for me, it's got to be down to the manager, really. I think if they got rid of him after this and they brought in not even Wilder, but another manager next week, you'd see a totally different Sheffield United side, personally.
Yeah. And I don't think, Southampton hated him when he was there.
Mm.
So, but having said all that, I've agreed with you. I've gone 2-1 as well. Scott, as they went 2-1 to Sheffield United, and Craig went 1-0 to Ipswich. So the next game that we're going to look at, I have made a mess of. I've uploaded the wrong thing, I think, because the next game on our list should be Preston versus Middlesbrough, and I have got that one again. So maybe I've got this up twice. So let's hope I catch up with myself. Preston versus Middlesbrough is another one of our Super Six. 31% win rate for Preston, 42 for Middlesbrough. Not lost yet this season, Middlesbrough. Lost 1, drawn 1, and won 2 for Preston. Last 2 at home and last 2 away were all wins. 4-3 goals for Preston, but look, 7 scored for Middlesbrough, only 1 conceded. Last season, this was 2-1 to Preston. The XG slightly favouring Middlesbrough. 9th for Preston, 1st for Middlesbrough, and we've both gone the same way as an away win. I've got at least Preston scoring a goal, but you've gone 2-0, I've gone 2-1. Preston always start well, and then they always drop away, don't they?
Yeah, they always fall away. They did it the same season. Obviously, we got promoted a couple of years ago. They were up there for the first 2 or 3 months, I think, and they look really dangerous. They look really good, and then, as you say, every season they fall away. I went again. It was sort of a no-brainer to go for Middlesbrough here. As I said earlier, I watched the game against Sheffield United a couple of weeks ago, and I was really impressed with them. They just they look good all over the pitch. Really play good football. I've always liked Rob Edwards as a manager. I think he does a really good job wherever he's been. Really, I probably might have been a bit over enthusiastic saying Preston won't score because again, like when they played us, I thought first half they looked really good. They did look dangerous on the attack, but. Well, I thought, well, I usually put too many 2-1s to, either here or there. So I've gone for a Middlesbrough clean sheet on this one, pal. So, yeah, 2-0 away win for me, mate.
Let me tell you something. I had actually gone 2-0. But when I saw you I thought, I can't agree with you exactly for the second time. So I did stick a goal in there.
Chris, you can be honest. You can be honest. You could thought, Josh, you put 2-1. It's definitely not going to be. Sorry, you could put 2-0. It's definitely not going to be 2-0. So, be honest.
Well, I was trying to be kind. Scott, I love this comment from Scott. He's already won the comment of the day. In hindsight, every time Chris and Josh agree, no points gained. I could be onto a good run this week.
Yeah. Definitely, yeah.
He's gone Preston 3, Middlesbrough 1. Craig has gone 2-0 to Preston, but Jim has gone for an away win 2-1. He's agreed with me to Borough. There you go. He has a go at me, but he agrees with me a lot anyway. Let's say this. Right, next up here isn't a Super 6 game. When I picked them, I didn't realise they were all so close together. But it is Charlton Athletic against Millwall. And we're looking here at a team that is... where are Charlton Athletic? Because they've not had a bad start, have they? They're sat in 16th.
Yeah.
Everybody was predicting them to go down. I don't think it's too bad. And they're playing a Millwall side who are sat in 12th.
And it's another derby. It's a weekend for the derbies. Like you say, you've got this one that's quite a big rivalry. As you say, Southampton, Pompey, Premier League. You've got Man U, Man City this weekend. So there's some cracking games coming up. Tough one to call on this one for me, pal. Again, because like you said, I think everybody expected Charlton to. I think they've bought pretty well with the transfers, but I think everybody sort of expects them to struggle a lot more than what they have done so far. I know it's early days, but you sort of got to pick up the points as soon as you can, really. And then, as you say, Millwall have had a decent start. I think last game week round they got beat though. So I've put on this one. Oh no, sorry, no. This is between us. This is not the Super Six. This is the one between us, isn't it? Right. Okay.
This is the first one between us. God help us. And I've got to say, I can't remember what I went. So you carry on while I just bring my score predictions up.
So with this one, I think had it been at the Den, I'd go for a Millwall win, but I'm gonna say a 1-1 draw on this one.
You're going for 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realised that I hadn't actually put them down anywhere because it's not one of the Super Sixes you say. I mean, Millwall, they've won, lost. So you're guessing they should win the next game. Charlton have won, drawn, won, won, drawn, lost, including obviously playing us. I'm going to go for
5-0.
You cheeky sod. No, I'm going to go 1-0 to Millwall. So you might want to make a note of that one.
I will do. I'll tell you what. I'm going to write these down on my notes now. So you've gone 1-1. I've gone what? No, so I've gone 1-1.
Yeah.
You've gone 1-0 Millwall.
Yeah, or 0-1. Yeah, if you like 0-1.
Yeah.
Next up, obviously, Scott has gone 2-2. He's gone for the first Desmond. Craig thinks this is going to be a goal fest, and he's gone 3-3. But next up, the most important game of the weekend, of course, Oxford versus Leicester City. Now, I'm not saying I'm a bitter man here, but are Oxford City fans or wankers? I messaged 7 Oxford City fan sites. 7, I think it was, yeah. 6 of them just never replied to me, and one of them didn't reply but blocked me. I don't know. We've got the preview coming up next without an Oxford City fan on. I mean,
it's Chris, and you've said Oxford City, but they're actually Oxford United. So I bet you've been emailing from me.
Probably that's why. Probably. You know. No, I don't know. God knows what I've been. I mean, I just think, like, and then some of them, when I was finding ones, and they were sort of like not done anything since 2012. So, I don't know. But look, here we go. Oxford against Leicester. We are going away to the 3-sided stadium. Of course, Oxford, they've got planning permission apparently, but they still haven't only got 3 sides to their stadium. So it'd be like playing at Sheffield Wednesday, won't it, really? They've got a 25% chance of winning. We've got a 49% chance of winning. As you can see, drawn 1 and lost the rest. We've won 3, just lost the 1, which was the second game of the season. At home, we've won 1, lost 1. They've drawn and won. But look, in fairness, 4 goals scored, 7 conceded. 6-3 for Leicester. Didn't obviously play last season. Again, the most number of goals they reckon will be scored will be 2 or 3. We'll take that as read for all these Super 6 games because it's exactly the same. XG, I can't remember the time we've had a better XG than the opposition. We certainly never did last season. 22nd against 4th. You've gone 2-1. I have, again, was thinking of going 2-1, but had to be different, so I've gone 3-1. I don't want to be too kind of dismissive, because it was a bit like that about Sheffield Wednesday, and you know, and they kind of made us pay. I have to say that our offence is only 36% compared to Oxford's 38%. But I can't see past the Leicester win.
The last couple of weeks, I went against us, to be honest with you. So I might have put the kiss of death on us this week by saying we'll win. I think. I mean, you could argue, or you could sort of say, well, against Charlton, maybe we should have seen more of the ball. Birmingham, I think we all sort of expected Birmingham to have a lot more possession than we did, and that was the case. I think this week, Oxford might let us come onto them a little bit more than previous teams. So I think we'll see a lot more of the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see how we go about building up attacks. It's going to be a tricky game. I think it's going to be trickier than what a lot of people think. And it's interesting you say about the sort of Sheffield Wednesday comparison, really. Maybe a few years ago, we're looking into going into these games and thinking, yeah, we'll steamroll these. But I think at the minute, we're still just finding us feet. Got big players come back. Obviously, Ricardo's back now, which is massive for us, I think.
Got the
Obviously,
new
we bought in
signings in as well.
exactly, yeah, and it's going to be exciting to see how they fit in. Signings for the right areas as well that we definitely needed. We needed not cover really. I think the majority of them really come in as first team starters really. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on. I went for a bit closer than what you did with the 2-1, but it'd be nice. I mean, it's one of these games where if I'm not right about this one and you're correct, I'll be more than happy, mate, because
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing just a comfortable win, especially early kickoff on a Saturday. Get it out of the way, get the
yeah.
3 points, and then watch the rest of the results come in rest of the day.
I mean, looking at Oxford, they lost their opening game to Portsmouth 1-0. They lost to Hull in a 5-goal thriller by the single goal. They only lost 1-0 to Birmingham, and they drew with Coventry, who, let's be honest with you, as we said earlier, they've been scoring for fun. So fair play to Oxford for that. But look, we've got a new number 2 goalkeeper, and I think he will be the new number 2. Although I'm not, jury's out for me on him. But he's going to have to start Karamba, isn't he? I can't,
Definitely, yeah.
not see him starting. And none of these, there's no reason why any of them, apart from the goalkeeper, but there's no reason why any of the other 3 shouldn't start, because it's not like they've not been playing. They've always sort of, been playing. Even sort of the Burnley guy, you've got to start him, Aaron Ramsey. You really have to start him. And JJ, I mean, yes, I can tell you who should be dropped for these players now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I've gone 3, because I think wouldn't it be so nice for Karamba to start and get a hat trick?
Oh, it'd be brilliant. It'd be great. Like you say, mate, I hope he does start. I can't say I've seen loads of him because I've genuinely not. Obviously we got linked and we signed him, so I watched a few highlight reels and stuff like that. So, but it's one of them ones where it's the unknown, really. So it's more appealing and exciting to me. It's sort of, we don't really know what we're going to expect from him. By all accounts, he can hold the ball up well and is pretty physical. So.
Yeah.
Like you say, mate, you've got to hope he starts, give him a chance, and fingers crossed. Like I say, if he manages to get hat trick, then it'd be unbelievable.
It would be. I'm trying to think. Is Jordan James? He's not the attacking midfielder. That's Aaron Ramsey, isn't he? He's the attacking, or is it the way round?
No, yeah, Jordan James. He's more of the. Remember him at Birmingham, he was more of an 8, so he was sort of like he can attack. He's good in attack. He scored 2 against us in the first game we played against them a couple of seasons ago, and then he's good at getting back and defending. And then, like I say, Aaron Ramsey's more the he's the attacking midfielder. So if they all start, I think they only strengthen us. So fingers crossed.
Yeah. I mean, Scott said he's not sure Karamba will start. Look, if you're going to sign these players, put them in. Like I said, they should all be match fit. Look, he admitted himself that Daka's the only attacking midfield attacker that he's got that's a known attacker. AU isn't a striker just on its own. So yeah, you do start with Karamba up front. I'm sorry you bring in JJ for Skip.
Mm-hmm.
and Louis Page might not be fit. He's being assessed. So if Page isn't fit, Ramsey goes straight in there.
I think he has to really. I think the only flip side of that you could potentially see is maybe Ramsey not starting, Carranza up top with Ayew in the 10, which is sort of what he does when he brings on Daka, sort of drops Ayew a bit deeper, which I don't
Yeah.
mind Ayew in that position, to be honest, because he's good. He drops deep. He always, when he starts up front, he drops deep to get the ball. Then when we get the ball, you sort of open that Fatawu and Mavididi or Fatawu and Monga are bombing on. If they're not, we've got nothing. If they're not all there behind play, we've got nothing going forward in attack. It's just Ayew holding the ball up, which is why I prefer Ayew in the 10. And then, like you say, either fingers crossed Carranza starts, or even I think I don't mind Daka. I know he gets a lot of flack, but I think bringing him on fresh legs for the last 20 minutes or so,
Yeah.
knowing that he's good at pressing. He's
Yeah.
got like against Birmingham. He came on and pressed relentlessly, and it made them panic a bit. So I think for the last 20 minutes is someone I'd bring on, but
Yeah.
that's the sort of the only way that I could see maybe Ramsey not starting is if he drops Ayew in the 10 and starts Carranza up front.
But I think if Ayew could do that role, but I'd sooner see him come on at the end to either hold the play up or get us free kicks. But we'll see. Craig's gone 2-0 to Leicester. Jim's gone 3-1 to City. Agreeing again, Jim. Yep. Oxford 1, Leicester 4, says Scott. Ricardo left back, Hamza on the right. No. You put square pegs in square holes. We always said, like, James Justin, I thought was brilliant as the left back, would be my number one choice. He was shit at right back. Don't do that to Ricardo. He's better at right back. Leave him there. If you want to put Hamza somewhere, drop. If we're going to play Aaron Ramsey, which JJ, which I think we should do, then I'd drop Samari and put him into that one. He might play left back. But when was the last time you saw him play left back?
You think you know what? Just on that as well. He raises a good point, but for me, I'd do exactly what you just said. Then again another player that he get so far this season. I feel like he's got unnecessary flack. I think Luke Thomas has been really good this season for us. I think he's done really well, considering he looked like a player that we were going to say potentially get rid of. And he's come back in, and I think he's been solid. He's nothing spectacular, don't get me wrong, but I think as a defender and a left back, I really like him. So you'd have Thomas left back, Ricardo right back, and then like you said, but push Hamza up into midfield with Jordan James. Give that a go and see how that gets on, because they're both high energy. Hamza's going to run his arse off all game.
Yeah.
At times he maybe a bit overzealous with his tackling, but I think we need a bit of that in the middle of the park. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, but I mean, James Justin is a left back, a right back as well as a left back. But anybody that tells me he did well or other players let him down, no, he wasn't a bad player. He was just a bad player in that position.
I agree with it. At left back, I thought he was brilliant.
Yes.
Just not right back.
I did as well. Yeah, I did as well. When he scored against West Ham. He scored 2 goals against Arsenal that were fantastic. Does not make, Daka scored a goal last season. Was it against Villa or West Ham? That doesn't make him a good striker. Sorry, I understand, fair play to you, armchair. I'm not saying your opinion's wrong, it's your opinion. I just don't agree with it. And, like I say, I'm all for square pegs in square holes, Right, next up, West Bromwich Albion against Derby County. Now, West Brom, who are second, they are... They've not lost this season. Did I get excited then? They've not lost.
It was good though. I liked it.
They started off with a 1-0 win against Blackburn. Again, they won by the odd goal in 5 against Wrexham. Could only draw with Portsmouth, and then they beat Stoke, who last time out who were top. Derby, meanwhile, yeah, they've not won yet this season. Lost to Stoke, lost to Coventry again in an 8-goal thriller. Drew with Bristol and drew with Ipswich. For me, I can only see this going one way. I'm sorry, Derby, but you're going to get stuffed. It's as simple as that to me. I can't. I really, really, really can't see this going any other way. Can you?
By the form book, then definitely not. No, but as you say, mate, I agree with you. But if this is a game where it's going to throw up a surprise, if there is any game that's going to throw up a surprise, I think it's this one. But having said all that, I think I'd go for a West Brom win. So I know I went first on the Charlton Millwall one. So do you want to give your score first on this
I
one?
will do. I've written it down here. I've gone 2-1 to West Brom.
I'll go. I'll go 3-1 West Brom.
3-1. Ooh. Well, I have to say, despite their good start to the season, they are 82% defensive.
Okay.
And
Maybe I've got a bit overzealous then.
but Derby are only 54% offensive. So, yeah, 3-1-2. I can see why you've done that. Right. Next game up is also a Super 6. Oh, sorry. Craig's gone 3-1 to West Brom. Scott's gone for 0-0. We
Good
won't bother
man, Gray. Good man.
Watford, Blackburn. 40% chance for Watford, 32 for Blackburn. Despite Blackburn having only won one game, one of those was at home. They lost the other. Sorry, away. They lost the other. In fact, their only wins come away. Not lost at home yet, Watford, with a draw and a win, but they've only lost one game. Last season, Watford came out 1-0 in the same game. And look at the XG, 1.29 to 1.25. And the goals, 5-5 for Watford, 4-5 for Blackburn. This is going to be tight. Again, most goals are likely in this game is 2 or 3. And you've gone 4.
Chris, I'm going to be right one weekend. I am going to be right. I'm backing myself on this one.
I'm not backing myself. I've got no faith in me whatsoever.
I think this was definitely the trickiest one to call this weekend, mate, because they are so close in. And I think the graphics you brought there prove how close they are. As you say, with the goals scored, goals conceded, the positions that they're in, the XG, it's so tight. In hindsight, I maybe should have gone for a 1-1, but I'm backing myself, and I'll back myself until I get one right. So that's why I picked the 2-2. But again, we say it every week. I think you could say it for both of these teams. To be honest with you, I say Watford are such a strange team. You never know what you're going to get with them. But Blackburn definitely fall into that category as well. So I think I've got splinters on my arse on this one. That's why I went for the 2-2.
Yeah, well, I went 1-0 because, like you say, with both these teams, and look, there's not much between them, 14th and 19th. The XG is almost the same. Goals scored, goals conceded, virtually the same. I've gone under the 2 or 3 goal probability. Yeah, I just think it's going to be a tight one. And it could be a draw, whether that's 1-1 or 2-2. But I just think Watford will nick it. Craig's gone 2-1 to Blackburn. Scott's gone for the 1-1 that you thought about. And Jim's gone 2-0 to Watford. Well done, Jim. Right, then. The next game is also a 2-6. It's like buses. All coming at once. Stoke versus Birmingham. Stoke, who were top up until the defeat last week, won the first 3 games, then lost. The last 2 at home, well, they included that loss, and they've won 1, exactly the same as Birmingham have away. But Birmingham have only won 2 and
You froze, pal.
Yeah, I thought I did. Yeah, I disappeared at my end. 4-4 for Birmingham. So they can't be split on the goals conceded and scoring. XG, it's more for Birmingham. Position third for Stoke, 10th for Birmingham. Again, 2-3 is the most goals. You've gone for a 1-1. I've gone for a 2-1 to Stoke. And I've got to say, I've agreed with Jim again. Good God help me. But I was very disappointed with Birmingham when they played us. And I thought that's why I've gone for a Stoke win.
My work, the company I work for, our office is based in Birmingham, so there's a couple of Blues fans there, and one of them I'm really good friends with, and we were sort of messaging throughout the game against us. And I said to him, I said, I can't believe how poor you've been going forward. I said, you've not really threatened us. You've had all the ball,
Yeah,
but I've not once sort of felt in the game like they look nailed on to score. But he actually said, even though last season, they got the record points and they basically pissed League One, he says the
yeah,
football they played was pretty boring and poor. And so sort of seeing similarities with maybe us under Enzo at the time when some fans were saying,
yeah,
even though we're winning games, it's not entertaining to watch. It's strange that he sort of said similar things. And I said to him, I said, well, that's how sort of a lot of us felt under Enzo, to be honest with you. I mean, not me personally, I
yeah.
loved it, but so yeah, it was strangely similar. I, Again, it's one of them. Maybe I fall into the trap of seeing the players they've signed and maybe getting overexcited and thinking, they're going to not walk the league because obviously
Mm,
Championship's one of the most. It's such a crazy league, anything can happen. But maybe being too over enthusiastic about them. I couldn't call it again. That's why I went for the 1-1, mate. 'Cause I couldn't really call it. I think Stoke had a really good start. They're looking a lot better than they have done for the last few years,
yeah,
and it wouldn't surprise me if at the end of the season they're up there challenging for at least the playoff spot. Really, if they obviously have to carry on the way they are, that's why I went for the 1-1, mate. I couldn't really split them. It's going to be again. It's quite a tricky one. It's another tricky one to call this one.
yeah. I think as well, they've got a good manager now in Mark Robbins because he
Yeah.
obviously what he did I wouldn't have minded him instead of
Mm.
Root, to be honest with you, because I think he had a lot to put up with at Coventry, and I think he'll do well for Stoke. That's why I've got Stoke just edging it. You've got a bit of a derby. They're in the Potteries, but it's still Midlands-ish for Stoke.
Yeah.
But I think they will just edge it. 2-0 to Stoke, says Scott. 2-1 says Jim. God help us, indeed. And Craig's agreed with you though. He's gone 1-1. Right, we
Good
can.
man, Craig. Agreed with me again. You see,
Yeah.
I'm slowly turning people in. You see.
Don't know where you're turning them. Probably down a dead end, but you are turning them. Right, we'll speed through these because none of these are Super Six until we get to the last game. Sheffield Wednesday versus Bristol City. Right, let's have a very quick look at this one. Let me just get the details up. Look, we all know Sheffield Wednesday's predicament. Bristol City odds on to win this with the win probability. They've got a point, Sheffield Wednesday, which puts them above their rivals, Sheffield United, which I'm sure they can't believe. Bristol haven't lost yet this term. 1.7 expected goals to 1.12. It is only going to go one way. I'm going to go. It is at Sheffield Wednesday.
Froze again, pal.
And I froze again. Don't know. Yeah, I've gone 4-0 Bristol.
Look at 3-0 Bristol City. Again, in Sheffield Wednesday, another team who I tend to back, and I'm
Yes.
rooting for them every week. But like you say, mate, Bristol City, they've had a flying start, so that's why I go for one goal less. I go for 3-0.
Yeah, I think we all root for the club and the fans, not necessarily the owner.
Yeah, 100%, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Craig's gone 1-0 to Bristol. Next up, we've got Wrexham, or as we like to call them, Leicester B. They are hosting Queen's Park Rangers. Wrexham finding it a little bit more difficult than they probably thought they would do. But this is another tight one because, you've got two teams here that they both had pretty much the same start. They both won one, both drawn one, and both lost two. You have got Wrexham with the better XG, and they are 78% attacking compared to offense of 36 for QPR. I'm just looking where they are in the table. Wrexham are in 15th, and QPR are in 18th. I'm going to go. Oh, how many goals? Queen's Park Rangers have scored 6, but let in 11. Wow. Wrexham was 7 and 7. I'm going to go for a Desmond on this one.
You've gone 2-2 on that one.
Yeah.
I've gone for. I think obviously Wrexham won the last game week, and I could see it giving them quite a bit of confidence. To be honest, I've gone for a Wrexham 2 QPR 1 on that one.
I can understand that because I did think that. I did, especially with QPR's. I just think, with the amount of goals they're letting in, it could be worse. But no, I can understand you going for that. I totally can. Coventry City, everybody's favourite second team, said nobody ever. Norwich. Now, Coventry, 50% chance of winning this, probability of winning this. They've not lost yet this season. Fair play to Coventry. Drawn 2-1-2, where Norwich 1-2, lost 2. Expected goals. Well, Coventry's offence is 100%, which when you think of this, how many goals they've scored.
Yeah.
And you're looking at Norwich, who are in 11th, scored 6, conceded 5, and Coventry City, who are in 5th. And I've got to say this to the Coventry fans. God, it hurts my neck looking at you. No, they were just putting, after the first weekend, they were just putting everything on Facebook. Oh, where are Leicester and all this? So, who are you? They scored 14 and conceded 6. I'll let you go first on this one.
I can only see a home win, really. I think Norwich is they're such a strange one. They really are. Obviously, you've got Josh Sargent, who's always a threat. I've gone for a Coventry 3-1 on this one, mate. I can see the good run continuing for them.
Right. Ooh. You pinched mine.
Apologies.
Chris,
you should have learned, but you should learn by now, mate. Steer well clear of mine because they're not going to be right.
You're right. I'm going to go for what? I'm going to go 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah. I was going to go 4-1, but they've scored 6, Norwich, so I'm going to go 4-2. Let's go to Welsh Wales, and we have got Swansea City versus Hull. A big probability on this now for Swansea City. 50% probability of them winning. They've won 2, drawn 1, lost 1. Hull lost 2, 1 and drawn. Much better expected goals, 1.5 for Swansea compared to 0.9 for Hull. And in the league, let's have a look where they are. So Swansea are... Oh, they're in 7th. I wasn't expecting them to be that high. They lost there to Middlesbrough, beat Sheffield. That's Wednesday or United. United. They only scored the one goal though against them. Drew with Watford and then beat Sheffield Wednesday. Scored 4, conceded 2. Hull. They're down in 17th. Drawn 1, lost 5 scored, 9 conceded. Look, I look at this and I think, what the hell are Hull doing? They sacked 2 managers recently. Rossignol fell out. Well, apparently the owner fell out with him because he wasn't playing the style of football that he wanted, having got them just missing out on the playoffs. Then they sacked, I think, the manager from last year. Again, I'll go first on this one. Will Hull City score? I'm going to go 3-1 to Swansea.
3-1 Swansea.
Yeah.
Again, with Hull, I have to agree with you, mate. I think they fell under a transfer embargo as well, didn't they? So I think it's going to be a bit of a season of struggle for them. I went like you. I went for a Swansea win. I was going to change my mind, but I won't. I've gone for a 2-0 Swansea win.
2-0.
And do you know who manages Swansea, by the way?
Yeah, it's the ex-Leicester player, and I can't think of his name.
Alan Sheehan.
Alan Sheehan, that's it.
Fraser, yeah, it's mad.
Yeah. Of course, he is Welsh himself.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
I always liked him. I always did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was decent. I think he left us to go to Leeds, if I remember rightly. I remember he could take a good free kick from what I remember.
Brilliant. Wish we got him now on free kicks, but it was at that time in Leicester's history where we couldn't keep hold of players because we always needed the money.
That's it. Yeah.
Craig's gone for 3-1 to Coventry, so he's agreed with you. Scott's gone 4-0 to Swansea. Craig's gone 2-1. Robbie Savage is managing in the National League. Yes, he is. I don't get that with Robbie Savage very quickly because he was managing a team that he owned.
It was Macclesfield, weren't it? I think
it was, yeah. And then he left them to go and manage Forest Green. Is it? He's now managing or something.
Yeah, Forest Green Rovers. Yeah.
Like, you own the other team, and you did well with the other team. I don't get it, but look, Savage. You know what he's like. He always surprises.
Unpredictable.
Yeah. I am probably going to watch this on Sunday. Southampton, Portsmouth. Like we said earlier, it is the South Coast derby. Sorry, any Bournemouth and Brighton fans that are watching, but it is the South Coast derby. Southampton obviously came down with us, and Portsmouth a couple of seasons ago got promoted and managed to stay up last season. 52% win probability for Southampton. That's pretty decisive. Again, the most goals is 2 and 3. But Southampton, again, not had the best of starts, but they did get a win last time out on the first game of the season. And they've drawn, lost. At home, they've had one of each. But Portsmouth managed to win 2 games away. But that's all. They've actually won 2 games. And actually higher Portsmouth, which will annoy people. 6-6 in the goals column for Southampton, 4-3 for Portsmouth. XG, it's a lot higher, surprisingly, though, for Southampton, who sat in 13th, and Portsmouth are in 8th. You've gone for a very convincing, I may say, and not a tad surprising, but then I shouldn't never be surprised by you, should I? But a 3-0. A 3-0 win for Southampton, sir.
I'll be honest, I think looking at the goals scored and conceded there scared me a bit because I knew Southampton was scoring, but maybe I sort of forgot they were conceding quite a lot. So I think maybe I could be right with Southampton scoring 3, but to say they won't concede now, I'm sort of second guessing myself. But it's locked in. I'll back myself on this one. I've got to stick with it now, so I've got no choice.
It's there.
I'm second guessing myself now, to be honest with you. But you know what? No. Southampton are going to they'll absolutely obliterate Portsmouth. It's not even going to be close. They'll be 3-0 up at half time, and that'll be it. And then second half they'll come out, shut up shop, and I'll get points for this.
I'm just making a note there. Obliterate Portsmouth. Right. Well, can I just say I've gone 2-1 because you have got that derby feel to it, and it's very much not quite as bad as the Burnley Blackburn, but it's up there. But it's a lot more than like Leicester's derbies are sort of just like powder puff derbies. You know what I mean? We don't get these days. You don't get over maybe because we've not had a derby for we didn't have a derby for so long. But I've gone 2-1. Now, can I just say, with all my predictions this week, I've actually looked at the win probabilities and the goals, and I've been quite statistical about this. Which, if I only get 1 point or 0 points again, I'm just fucking giving up. You know, I stood in the fort. I've been like like when you were at Goodwood with a copy of the Racing Post. You know, I've been doing all that.
All the research.
Yeah, and I bet I still don't come up with much, anyway. But let's just have a look what people have gone for with this one on the Super 6. Scott, you said that, managing Robbie Savage. 1-1, says Craig. Oh, Southampton 2, Pompey 3, said Scott. And Jim's gone 2-1 to Southampton. Bloody hell! Chris, we agreed on all scores spot on, except I went 2-0 Watford and you're 1-0. How am I going to pass you in the standings? Well, when I said I was checking all my stats, I was also looking at what you'd predicted. Jim had gone for the same. So I know, no, I didn't. Next week, I'm going to look what you've gone and I'm going to go completely the other way. But we will see how we do. Will Craig get a third 0 in a row? Who knows? Josh, always a laugh and always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you very much, sir. Really do appreciate it.
My pleasure, mate. I look forward to every week, and here's to a more successful week for both of us.
Well, I get to the point where I just want to beat you in our little game.
So we'll call that one we'll call it the booby prize, to be honest with you.
Yes.
There's pride at stake between us both.
There is indeed. Did we do Stoke versus Birmingham?
Did we do what, sorry?
We did Stoke versus Birmingham. I haven't written it down.
We did. I've just put it on my notes. Hang on. That wasn't a Super 6 game, was it?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely did it. I went for the 1-1, I think, on that one.
Let me just go back and see.
I think you went 2-1 Stoke. I think.
I did. I went 2-1 Stoke and you went 1-1.
1-1, yeah.
Yeah, I wondered why I only got 11 games down there. Scott says, well done, Josh. Great to have you on the show. It's brilliant to have you back, mate. It really, really is.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. It means a lot.
And I will see you, next week. Let's hope we're not hanging our head. I'm going to go and buy a mask. So that you can't see my face. You know?
I think if I have another crap week, you might see my wife's face on here next week. To be honest with you, I'll let her pick my games for me.
Can I just say, I hope you have a bad week then. Not saying you're ugly, but she'd be a lot more pretty to look at.
100%, mate. And you know what? She'd probably do better at predicting scores than me as well. So,
I know. Oh God! Thank you so much, Josh. Take care, buddy. Have a good week.
My pleasure, mate.
Fingers crossed for Leicester.
Yeah, that's it. Here's to another 3 points, mate. And have a cracking weekend. I'll catch up with you next week, buddy.
Cheers, buddy. All the best. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, guys. Have a good weekend.
Cheers. Thanks very much there to Josh. Love having him back. As Scott says there, please do show your support and click the like button. do smash that like button. Click the subscribe as well. Thank you for joining in, everybody. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, Scott. Thanks to Craig and everybody else that's been in. If you're watching on Catch Up, thanks for tuning in. Put your predictions in below, and don't put them in after we've played all the games. They're time stamped, so we know when you've put them in. So no cheating. And if you're listening via your favourite podcast platform, thank you for lending me your ears. All the best. Thank you very much, Scott. And I will see you in 14 minutes' time. I'm going to be talking Oxford, but not with an Oxford City fan. No, because they don't talk. I'm going to be doing it with Brad. That sounded wrong, didn't it? Any port in a storm, I guess. I'll see you now in 13 minutes. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.